Seeing. A case of mistaken identity. For the first 1 or 2 years of life, you were functioning from your true nature, from effortless being. There were sounds, feelings, sensations, but there was no concept that you were separate from any of them, or that they were personal to you. Gradually, you were invited into a game, the game of duality and limitation. Your caregivers referred to you by a name and began to identify you as a body with certain characteristics. Initially, you played the game knowing that you remain as the one infinite being. You knew that nothing could ever harm or change your true nature. But as the game continued, you were bombarded from all directions, day in and day out, with reinforcement of the idea that you are separate and limited. Gradually, yet inevitably, you forgot your true nature. You forgot that you are the impersonal, infinite ocean of beingness. For someone who is new to spirituality, the idea that you are something other than the body you see in the mirror will sound like nonsense. But if you are reading this book, chances are you're at least somewhat familiar with the notion that things are not as they appear. Perhaps you're even so familiar with it that you can't believe you're reading yet another book on the subject. This is a common thread among the majority of people with whom I've spoken. There is spiritual depth there, and often a long history of seeking. Many can recall questioning the nature of this life from a very early age, and a feeling that something isn't right or that they don't belong here. For others, the search has not necessarily been spiritual, but rather an innocent desire for happiness, an inner knowing that life isn't supposed to be so hard. Regardless of what causes a person to seek or the name they give to that which they are seeking, the seeking is always for the same thing, to know one's true nature. True nature can be called by many names: God, presence, awareness, consciousness, infinite being. It is not important what it is called. In fact, giving it any kind of name limits it and makes it appear as other or grand. For the sake of pointing to it, I will refer to it by different names. But know that your true nature is completely attributeless, timeless, neutral, and ever-present, and it's all you've ever been. You already know this. You know that what you see and what you've been taught to believe is not the truth. That's why you became a seeker of truth. Soon, if you have not already, you will realize that even the person seeking is not you. It has all been a case of mistaken identity.